My name is Catherine Machuma Simiyu, Mrs. Wekesa. I'm a teacher at Hillcrest International School in Karen. I have been teaching art for the last 21 years, and it's been a joy to teach children. Now, I am an author of CBC books. I have written Beginning Art and Craft Learner's Activity Book by Moran Publishers, Book 1. I have also written Book 2, Beginning Art and Craft Learner's Activity Book by Moran Publishers. And I've done Book 3, Beginning Art and Craft Learner's Activity Book by Moran Publishers. I'll be referring a lot to this book because that is what I use to teach art wherever I go. So well done for joining us. Ready with your materials, a pencil, a paper, an eraser if you want, and colors. Now for your colors, you'll need crayons if you're younger, and you'll need pastels if you're older. These are crayons, okay? Crayons look like this. Pastels look the same, but slightly smaller and more detailed when you're working with. So I'll be working with both as I go on with my teaching. Now today, those who say, I don't think I can draw, I'm not sure I can, you can draw. I'm confirming to you that you can draw. So get set. We're going to use basic shapes. We all know basic shapes. From preschool, we are taught basic shapes. So I'm on the page of basic shapes. And the basic shapes we have are circles, ovals, squares, rectangles, stars, triangles. Basic. Okay, as we grow older, we learn other shapes that we use in mathematics. We'll find diamonds, we'll find parallelograms, trapezium. You know, as you grow older, so you get more and more as shapes to use. Today we're only going to use the basic shapes because we are all beginning art and craft, and so we are learning how to use them. Now, my first animal. When you look at a zoo, you realize that animals are friends. Just like we are friends, we make friends as we live on earth. Animals also love making friends. And so you'll find a zebra carrying a monkey on its back. It happens because they don't eat each other. So they're friendly and they live together as friends. And so as human beings, we're encouraged to be friendly and not to hurt one another, not to abuse one another, because animals can't abuse anyway. They just walk around with each other, have a life. Now, my first page, we're going to draw a rabbit, or rather a bunny. And so I will start with my oval shape of the head. Now I'm doing many ovals very lightly because I'll need one of those circles as my final. So I'll start with that. Then the body, I'll put a circle, but a slightly bigger circle, okay? So again, I'm just creating basic shapes that will help me to do what I need to do, okay? I want to create my legs, and so there it is. And then the hip at the back almost creates another circle, okay? Because of the hipped part of the body. And then I'll now put the leg, the front leg of it, okay? My tail is also a circle. Now my ears are long ovals. So I'll start with that, then I'll do another ear, which is another long oval. Then I'll put the inner part of the ear in the inner part of the ear. And so basically I'm almost done with my rabbit. Pick any of them, make it stronger. If I have an eraser, I'll erase the rest of the parts, but I don't want to erase because I will not need them later. I'll just work around with them. And so I can come on to the hind limb, and then I'm strengthening it, okay? And my front limb, it doesn't have a lot of details, remember to put the toes or something like that. And then I'll want to finish the rest of the body. And the ears, I'll go on and just strengthen my ears. And so my art teacher then told us we have to draw the animals we saw. So if you don't record the images in your head as you visit the orphanage, you may not remember how to draw them. And remember that this ear overlaps this ear, so I can't draw the rest of the lines for this ear. I'll just begin from here, and then I'll finish. Now, ordinarily, what I would do now is I would get my eraser, and then I'll erase the rest of the parts that I don't need. But I don't have to, because after all, I'm going to color it, and I want to color my bunny brown. Okay, there I am. I hope you can see. Then I want to put an eye. Okay, and I'll want to put a nose. There you go. I have used basic shapes, which are ovals, to draw the rabbit or to draw the bunny. Remember, I've not used a rubber anywhere, but at home, you're allowed. Now, I want to color my rabbit or my bunny. And some rabbits are white, some are brown, and so I'll use brown because I have brown here. Now, in art, when you're working, this is my page. You have to check that the use of positive space, positive is where you've drawn, is almost equal to negative space. That is a space that is left around the image. So when you're drawing, don't draw a very tiny bunny or rabbit and then the rest of the page is left empty, unless you're planning to add some flowers. And maybe your flowers are what color? What color of flowers do you like? You like pink, red, okay, pink. And so I can decide I'm just going to draw some tiny flowers to back up my bunny because it likes running in flower gardens. So there I am with my flowers. I can decide to put them there. Then they also like running into long grass. So I'll take my green colors and then I'll just put a lot of grass. By the way, grass is not hard to draw. You just put strokes. And you put more strokes and more strokes and you're fine, okay? So you don't have to really struggle. I want to use brown to color my bunny. I'll use 2 shades of brown because when you look at anything, when you look at any object, because of light falling on that object, it tends to change the way it looks. So you don't see a color as one color, but you see shades of a color. And so if I start coloring my bunny brown, I hope you have your colors ready. If you didn't have them, hey, that means you'll need to look for them so that you use them in the next lesson. So those are my pastels. I'm working with pastels because they're easy to spread, but they're not very friendly on very young children because they'll tend to eat them. They're a bit soft, so they tend to eat them. Now, as I color, I need to create some dark effects of color and some light effects, especially around any overlap. For example, the ears overlap on the body, and so I'll create some dark shades around the ears. Okay, any other part that overlaps, again, you're going to create a dark tone. Now, for the ears, I'll start with the dark around the bottom ear because this upper ear is overlapping my bottom ear. And so I'll start with a dark tone around the upper ear because of the shadow that is created by that. And then I will use the lighter brown on the bottom part of the ear and the upper part of the ear. Okay? So when you're coloring, avoid just doing one flat color. When you do what I'm doing, you're creating a 3D effect. 3D. 3D is 3-dimensional, where you have length, width and height. You feel like you're able to turn around and see the other part of the animal that you're drawing. I can decide to make it lighter again inside the ears of the rabbit so that I have a complete, unless I want them white. Sometimes you find a rabbit that has some parts very white and some parts have color, okay? So I'm still trying to create tones even around the eye. Tone is dark to light effect so that my work looks 3D and not just flat. And so I can color this, all this inside, the dark brown inside. Now, most of the packs that you get from the shops have different tones. So you find even when you're working with green, you have shades of green. You don't just have one green. So ask mom or dad or auntie or whoever buys to buy one that has a lot of range of colors instead of just having one green and you can't create any tones or shades. And so I'll move on to the body of the body of the rabbit. And I may not color the whole of it, but at least you know how it's going to go. Anywhere there's an overlap like here, definitely it will start with a dark shade so that we move on to the next animal. It will have a dark shade around where there's an overlap. Overlap means something is sitting on another, and so you create a dark tone around there. And then the rest of the parts take the light tone that just helps us to create beautiful art. And so I would like you to continue and finish what you've just started, and you can finish later. You don't have to finish it now because we need to move on to the next animal, okay? So you will continue coloring, and remember the bottom part always creates a shadow for itself on any object. So I'll do dark again down here. So I'm just creating tones, tone and value. Tone and value, dark to light effect on my work as I continue. I could decide to leave the tail white because most of them have a beautiful white tail, the ones I've seen and the ones I saw at the orphanage. Now, once you've put all your colors and you're happy with your rabbit or your bunny, then now you can add the grass, okay? Add the grass because the grass will overlap. Some grass strokes will be thick, some will be thin, some will be a little darker, you see, some will be lighter. So you continue creating your dark and light grass effects. Some grass, by the way, end with a nice, colorful flower kind of thing on top. And you can add more flowers, and you can add more flowers, and you can color. So I would like you to continue with that piece that you have started right now. Finish it. By the time we meet next, we will be looking at what people have done. People, I hope you've enjoyed the lesson today. I will be coming back for more lessons so that we continue to do art. So well done everybody for attending. I'm so glad that you came. Moran Publishers have really facilitated this, and I am glad that I'm part of them so that I may be able to just teach people how to do art in a simple way. I'm not a complicated artist. I do it with beginners. If you're 50 years and you want to begin, we will just begin here with you, with basic shapes. And so I'm glad that you came. Lovely audience, thank you.